Open Heaven Daily Devotional by Pastor Adegboye. Today, Friday, March 20th, 2026. Topic: The Root Curse. Memory verse: 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 21. 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 21. And he went forth unto the spring of the waters, and cast the salt in there, and said, Thus saith the Lord, I have healed these waters. There shall not be from thence any more death or barren land. Bible reading: 2 Kings chapter 5, verse 20 to 27. 2 Kings 5, 20 to 27. Message: in Mark chapter 11, verse 12 to 20. Mark 11, 12 to 20. Jesus cursed a fig tree for not having fruit on it, and it dried up from its roots. I believe the detail that the tree dried up from its roots was added to let us know that curses attack roots. They always go root deep. Immediately after Jesus cursed the fig tree, the disciples could have looked behind them as they left the scene and discovered that its leaves were still green. I imagine that one of them could have said to himself, Jesus missed this one because the leaves on the tree are still as green as ever. Little did they know that the curse was already taking effect from the tree's roots. Beloved, be careful of curses, especially divine curses. If a man curses another man, it can be reversed by another man with a higher spiritual authority. However, when it is a divine curse, no one can reverse it except God. There are several people who have been cursed but still look green. For example, a fellow might break away from his or her local church in a malicious manner and still look fine on the outside. However, the fellow's roots might have been affected, and with time, the consequences will begin to manifest. If you remove a branch from a tree, it dies instantly. However, it is not immediately apparent. It is only after a while that it will start turning yellow before it eventually turns black. When it is yellow, people might think it is prosperous, only to discover later that it was actually dying. In today's Bible reading, when Elisha pronounced a curse on Gehazi, he said that Naaman's leprosy will cleave to him and his seed forever. The curse went straight to the roots of his lineage, such that any fellow who came from that lineage will carry the curse. In 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 19 to 22, 2 Kings 2, 19 to 22, the men of Jericho came to Elisha to tell him that their city looked beautiful, but they had several problems. When they brought him the new cruse of salt he requested, he went straight to the source of their river, so he could tackle the city's curse from its roots. Child of God, are you experiencing the aftermath of a curse that you or someone in your lineage brought into the family? I speak to the roots of that curse now, and I decree that every inherited curse will cease to function in your life and family from this moment in Jesus' name. Prayer point: Lord, please remove any curse that might be operating in my family from its roots in Jesus' name. Bible in 1 year. Judges chapter 20 to chapter 21. Judges chapter 20 to chapter 21. Hymn for today: What a friend we have in Jesus. God bless you.